Now, I wanted to talk about browning meat because I've realized over the course of classes and actually filming these videos is that the Kashmiri idea of browning meat is very different to the understanding of browning meat with a lot of the people that I'm working with, at least in Western Australia. So normally in a Western culinary context, browning meat is just that sort of exterior caramelization of the meat at high heat. But when it comes to browning meat for these richer Kashmiri meat-based dishes, it's really a long process and it involves fat and yogurt and thyme. Now, thyme has a structural quality when it comes to food. So the whole idea is to transform produce to become this spectacular vehicle for spice, which is what this method of browning meat does. Normally I do this in a pressure cooker, but the reason I'm not going to is because I want you to be able to see what's going on. And also because the wider the base of your pot, the wider the circumference, obviously the less time it's going to take for your meat to brown. And this process is long, even if you do use a wide base pot. So by long, I mean it can go anywhere from 45 minutes to 2 hours, depending on the fat content of your meat, the circumference of your pot, and your patience level. So these are your basics, okay? So you've got yogurt, you've got a really good rich oil, so I use mustard oil. Because I am later going to turn this into rogan josh, lamb rogan josh, I am gonna be a bit spicy with it. What you need to do is overload on the fats, so far more than you think is actually good for you. So it's about 5 tablespoons of mustard oil on a high heat, and then 1.5 cups of yogurt. So yogurt gets a stir through. So split yogurt in this context is exactly what you want. It's nothing to shy away from. And then I'm just going to do a little clutch, so about 8 to 10 green cardamom. Just cracked the husk to reveal more of the intensity of aroma. So they go in. A teaspoon of salt. The lamb. Now this lamb you can see how much fat's in there. It's a shoulder. I have trimmed some of it, but I do enjoy that fat flavour. And so this is going to get kept to a high heat, but not medium high. So if my stove goes to 15, I'm going to put it onto 12. And this is something that we're actually going to have to keep coming back to over about the next hour and a half. So you're going to see my outfit change multiple times through this browning of the meat process because today's filming day. But just the number of outfit changes is going to tell you how long it actually takes. But when it gets to the end result, it's totally worth it. And I think that it's a really important technique to learn if you want to translate spice in a very true context. So if you feel like your dishes aren't up to scratch, part of the issue may not be your spicing, it may be your technique to prepare your produce for acceptance of the spice. And this is the bit that matters. This is the preparation. Okay, so outfit 1. This is outfit change number 2. And we're still browning. But have a little look. So see how it's moved along? Quite far. And I'm actually going to turn it down now. But see how the oil's split and from the yogurt? And that's the beginning of the browning process. In Kashmiri cooking, we love it when yogurt and oil splits because that signifies the beginning of really intense, delicious caramelization. And then I'm going to just turn it down to a medium heat because if I can't always pay attention to it, if I'm not there to constantly be stirring it, it sticks really quickly, especially at this point when the volume of liquid in the pot is beginning to decrease. I'll be back in outfit number 3. I think 3rd outfit now and still browning. So if you have a little look, I turned it off for a little bit, but you can see what we're starting to be left with is this density of like a gravy on top of meat that's incredibly fragrant. So this is outfit 4, and this is the meat browned. So if you come and have a little look, you can see how rich that is now. So when I'm talking about browning meat, when it comes to Kashmiri cooking, that's how we brown it. And at this point, now you're ready to spice it and to turn it into something. So you can see how much of the flavour of traditional Kashmiri food and a lot of regional Indian food generally, when it comes to meat dishes, comes from this process. And this process is the thing that takes time, but it's what gives you that incredible depth and texture and richness of flavour. And that is a super secret of Indian cooking. So I'm almost tempted not to tell you. But this is where flavour lives, in these technique processes and in the preparation of produce. Oh my gosh, you could eat it now, except there's a whole world of flavour that's going to come into it from this point forward. But that's another video for another day.